Welcome, everybody, to the latest episode of The Testing Room, where three of the gaming industry's best video game consultants, who have never actually consulted on a video game, bring you new topics each and every week. As always, I'm Alex, aka The Godfather.
I'm Christian, aka Sudoku45.
I'm Preston, aka Funkadelic Jedi.
Yeah. We're coming at you this week with some topics and updates, but I think I know we want to get to Preston's comment corner. Preston, I hope you have a question about the Switch Direct, the Nintendo Directs, because if not, that is the only thing I want to talk to you about today.
We don't have a comment, but I also want to talk about that, as I'm sure Christian does as well. So we'll take a comment.
And Jake, I know Jake's listening. Jake, we also want to hear what you thought about Nintendo Direct.
Well, we probably want to know what he thinks about the news that came out after the Direct, but yes,
all of it.
We'll get into all of it for sure.
All of it.
Yeah, we did get a comment in from Tori. Thank you for chiming in, Tori. Hey guys, happy Monster Hunter Wilds to all who celebrate. I'm glad everyone is enjoying the game so far. It truly is a lot of fun. And all the quality of life improvements they did and the story they've incorporated into this game are wonderful. I'm enjoying it so much. For all the hate and negativity that the game gets for being quote-unquote too easy is very humorous. I don't like to think of low and high rank as too easy, but nice confidence building for when they add the higher rank and crazier monsters that just punch you across the map for fun. Then you can remember the good times when hunting these things weren't so frustrating. As I post this, it's a few days away from the Title 1 update, and I would like to know, are there any monsters you guys would like to see added to the game in future update? Also, any you wouldn't mind if they skipped over? Side note, I really thought I posted a comment on your Wilds prologue a few weeks back, and Preston skipped it. But it looks like I never posted my comment, just typed it up. So I apologize to you, Preston, to ever doubting you or questioning your integrity. Until next time, happy hunting, Tori.
To be fair, Preston gaslit Jake for like a month and a half before we realized that Jake was posting and Preston was ignoring it. So don't worry about feeling bad about questioning Preston skipping your comments.
I'm really
First of all, I just want to say what a lovely comment.
Yes.
And I don't think any of us could have said that better ourselves about any of that Monster Hunter stuff. I completely agree.
Yeah. And it's even nice too when you get into like master rank and you are getting just like destroyed by something, and then you go back to do a mission and it's like a normal high rank and you just beat that monster in like 2 minutes. You're like, yeah, take that,
right?
Whoever you are, So I am excited. As far as who would I like to see added, goodness, I'll probably have controversial things to Christian here. I would like to see a couple of like elder dragons come back. I would like to see a Kirin, just because I really like Kirin. I would like to see a Barioth come back. I would be good with I don't know. I think my list of ones I don't want to come back would be bigger. There are two for sure.
The penis
I think
monster.
we could. Actually, I'm okay with him coming back. He was gross, but that's fine.
Yeah, Kezu can come back. That's fine.
Two specifically. Tigrex and Basil Goose can eat a dick forever.
Okay.
The two of them.
We share one. So for me, Barioth, because he's my favorite monster. I also really want Brachydios to come back. I love Brachydios a bunch. Punch Boy is always welcome. I dig him. And there's tons that I still like. I can't believe that we got Gormagala so early because he's one of my favorites. Valstrax could come back from Rise, like the rocket-powered fucking drag. I'd like to see him come back.
You and I also talked about Magnamalo from Rise, but apparently people don't like Magnamalo.
So Preston, this just came across. So I couldn't believe this. I'll ask first. How did you feel about Magnamalo?
Which one is that one? I'm not good with names.
Magnamalo is the flagship monster from Rise. So he would
purple
had like
lion,
the crazy like
vampire
purple.
Kind of
No.
Yeah.
Well, he was like the samurai helmet, and then he had like the crazy like stabby tail, but he would like do blast damage and like jump around the air, slam down. He's like the main guy on the cover of Rise.
But he was
Like
like
if
he was
you look
like
up
a
Monster Hunter Rise, he's the front
I
cover.
gotcha.
but he was like a purple saber-toothy lion thing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Okay. I mean, I didn't hate him. I mean, he moved around a lot, but with Rise, I had a lot of those parry moves, so I was always kind of just putting that up.
So I found out of all the flagship monsters that have been out for Monster Hunter games, he's like everybody's least favorite.
Really?
Yes. And I
guess
was like,
If you're going with just flagship monsters, maybe, but I would have to look back to see all the flagship monsters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I Alex and I were always like, we were pretty positive on him,
Yeah,
so
no, I
I
like him.
was
fine.
kind of surprised at that too.
I
But
forgot Valhazak too. I would dig a Valhazak.
yeah. I'm a big fan of Basil Goose. I love his theme music when he comes in. I love his roar. I love everything about Basil. Like, there's nothing. I want him in there.
You love being juggled by explosions all over the field when he drops his
If
scales.
you just don't get hit by him, it's not a big deal. But the one that we share is Tigrex. Tigrex can he could never come back, and I'd be fine with it. Oh my god, his roar doing damage is so fucking annoying. His slams where he shoots rocks fuck him. And then both the combos of Teostra and Lunestra can both get the fuck out of here.
Teostra has a special place in my heart. I love Teostra.
Yeah, fuck him, and fuck that stupid supernova move, and fuck Lunestra for the same shit.
I mean, he fits in Oil Well Basin with all the fire.
Huh?
Real well. He fits with all the fire in Oil Well Basin.
Yeah, Basil Goose fits in there.
Maybe. I mean, I'm not saying he doesn't.
Yeah.
I'm just saying like
No,
Teostra fits really well.
he can get the fuck out of here. And then, but number one with a bullet that I do not want to come back, and I hope he never comes back.
Do not say Rajang. Bring Rajang
No,
back.
no,
Okay,
it's Kushala.
Okay. Oh, hard same.
Yeah, Kushala. I
Kushala
hope.
Dora. Yeah.
Yes, I never want it to come back. It is everything about the fucking all the tornadoes, the constant wind energy that's going around it that just shoves you down on the ground like you're like a child on a playground and some kid just comes up and pushes you down. Like, that's exactly what it does to you. I can't stand his ass. I don't want him to come back.
They're bringing him back because he's going to be so good for the desert area because he can just kick up a sandstorm, and they're going to do exactly that. Like,
I'm sure. I'm sure. I hope that it's a long time before we see him. Maybe we don't. And I'll be happy about it, but who knows?
I would like to see Rajang come back and just destroy all those other little
Rajang
monkeys.
will always come back. He's just always a master
great.
rank monster, but he'll be back. I'm not too worried about Rajang.
Somebody did one of those like Reddit posts of like quests I want to see, and one was just called like Monkey Business, and it was all the monkeys with Rajang in there. And I guess there's one other that we haven't seen for a really long time in any of the games.
Probably, yeah.
And I was like, that would be fun. I would be down for that.
Yeah.
So, I can't wait. I'm very excited for tomorrow.
Yeah, well, that's tomorrow, isn't it? Yep. We'll have to get down on that on at least probably Saturday. You probably do some of that on Saturday. All right. But that is the comments for this week. If we all want to.
Do you not have any?
Huh?
Aren't you going to answer Tori's question?
I'm really bad with the names on Monster Hunter stuff, and I can't
Oh,
I
okay.
can't on top honestly even trying to think about like images and like what they do. Like, I can't think of anything right now. Like I said, Penis Monster stands out. He could just fucking leave. We don't need him anymore. He can stay that way. It'd be really funny.
Well,
if they made him an amiibo, but-
you don't like Bubble Monster that's coming in.
That's already happening
tomorrow,
Mitsune, isn't it?
Yeah,
All right.
Mizitsune is already here.
That one's already happening, so I can't say no to that one. But hey, I got a heavy bow gun that's pretty leveled up. I'm about to find out how well it works. I'm excited.
That's true. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
no, sorry, Tor. I can't think of any monsters. I don't have that kind of vault. These guys played for hundreds of hours. I played for tens of hours. So
If only there was a device you were sitting in front of while Christian and I were talking.
and it's almost like I saw the comment earlier today, and I could have just started looking some up, but I didn't. I was working. I'm sorry. But yeah. I'm not as big of a Monster Hunter guy as these guys. I love playing it with them. It's a great game, but like these guys play when they're by themselves too. So I got other games I can play.
Play with myself all the time.
Good to know.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, before Well, let's get into our weeks first.
You want to get into the weeks first before we talk about Switch 2 details?
Let's get into our weeks first.
Get out of the way? Okay.
Let's get it out of the way. I guess I had a big week for me. I played a few games. So I played the one we'll talk about later this week at our book club. So I played Black. I played Monster Hunter at the beginning of the week. And then I was playing some Pirate Yakuza, finished Chapter 1. Okay. Incredible. You guys saw some of that before we logged on here today. Mm-hmm. It's gorgeous. It's clever. We just saw a Disney song breakdown. Yeah. It was Dance Number, which was amazing. And just so much of it is so funny. Like I was telling these guys, there's a little tiger cub running around. Like the tiger cub is literally just voiced by a person. Like instead of recording a tiger, it's a person going like "roar," like growling, which makes it all even funnier. Yeah, one of the characters' sister's name is Moana. Like just they're leaning heavy into the any Disney or just movie thing that's happened around the Hawaii area. They're just like, we could add that in. There's been Pirates of the Caribbean nods. They're like, we'll throw it in. Why not?
Culture touchstones from that area. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's incredible. And then the other game that I played this week was a little bit with Christian. Christian and I finished 7.2 on Final Fantasy 14. So there's a new patch. We did new quests. We did a new raid series, a normal raid series, which is the smaller 8-man raids. We leveled up some crafters. So I got my botanist and my miner all the way up to max. I got my goldsmith up to max because, and there's a reason, because in the next update, 7.25, which is coming in a month and a half or so, they're bringing a whole new area specifically geared towards crafters. So being max levels, how you'll get your new crafting weapon, and then there's a whole nother area for crafters and others. So either way, just making sure we're all set for the 7.25 stuff. Story was great. For everybody that says oh, this patch means Final Fantasy's back, I don't think it went anywhere. But I guess if they want to come back, feel free. We're here the whole time.
That's not what you said last week.
That's true. I actually don't want most of them to come back. They can stay away.
Yeah, I was pretty clear on my feelings on that one. Clear.
But the quests were good. So I'm interested to see where the story goes. The raids were great. Christian and I, there were a couple that took us 2 times, but the last one took us 7 or 8.
Beat the shit out of us, yeah.
Yeah, we started one day, had to finish the next day. It was tough, and that's something we haven't had in a long time. So yeah, those are the games I've played. Like I said, I dabbled in a little bit extra stuff, and yeah, it was great. I'm excited for tomorrow, though. Tomorrow is going to be a big part of my week.
It's going to be a big one. Well, I can go next. I have been playing a little bit more of Redout and Rogue Flight when I get the chance. A good little side pieces that I just jump into, play a little bit of, and jump out if I need to. Both are great. Been playing... Actually, I finished Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. So the Yuffie DLC that came out for Remake. It's good. Super short, 3-4 hours long. Oh. After playing Crisis Core, it was nice to kind of go back into yes, this does look much better than what I saw in Crisis Core. Because you're playing Crisis Core, playing that for 10 plus hours, I'm like, all right, this doesn't look bad. I mean, it's obviously definitely looks better than the PSP version of it. But going back into Integrate, yes, this is the quality that I was hoping for, expecting for when I go into a Final Fantasy VII now. So it was great. Yuffie, I was worried about her being an annoying kid. She's adorable. She's very funny, very cute. I enjoyed everything in there. The writing is really good as well. Sonon, I think, is the other person that is in your party. He is super fucking cool. If you look up his English voice actor, he's done all sorts of anime and video game acting jobs. You can hear it in his voice. He has a very Troy Baker, Matt Mercer kind of that's a noticeable voice. But yeah, I liked it a lot. I liked where it went, and the very end gave you a little bit more as far as tease with Zack. So a little bit of a spoiler alert on Intergrade, but at the very, very end, this doesn't have anything to do with the actual story with Yuffie or anything like that, but Zack goes back to the church. He knocks and opens up the door and sees everybody dealing with the fall of the plate on Sector 7, I think it was. So, again, I haven't played Rebirth yet. I don't know if that's supposed to be is he going to be able to meet up with these characters sooner or later? From what Christian has been telling me from the past when he was playing Rebirth, doesn't sound like it, but they sure fucking make you think he's gonna show up the entire time with Remake and with Integrate. So I'm curious how that actually unfolds when I get to Rebirth. Which, hey, as soon as Rebirth hits a sale, I want it, so I'm gonna get it sooner or later. I just gotta wait.
So, 2 questions for you, Preston. One, are you hitting your Final Fantasy VII burnout yet? Because I know JRPGs like this, like Final Fantasy JR games themselves, aren't really typically your thing. 2, because of the amount of time you've played now, 2 games and a DLC, would you officially call this your favorite Final Fantasy?
I really liked, was it 16? I really liked 16. Like the action and everything like that, like just the way you play that, I really do like that one. That being said, I've only played, I guess, a third of the whole story of 7. I've played a little bit past this part as far as the old school version of 7, the original version. Like I've been to the Golden Saucer, everything like that. So I'm curious to see how they kind of do all that in that one city you go to as well. Before
But you're like binging this stuff. I mean, typically you're a dabbler,
dude,
and
when
you're
I got the
binging
taste of
these
Remake,
games.
I'm like, I like this. I'm gonna go in, and then I got Crisis Core.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, it's fine. I'm like, I really just want the lore, I guess. And then I got Integrate. I'm like, I want Rebirth now. So I'm like, we got 2 conventions coming up. Me and Christian are going to the Midwest Gaming Classic. And then next weekend after that is C2E2. So I'm trying not to drop $70 on a game right now. Not to mention South of Midnight comes out within less than a week. So I got money going other places. I'll wait for the game to go on sale. So, but yeah, it's high up there, man. Like it's definitely at least number 2 as far as all of them. I would say number 3. 14 is very good. I think 14 is very, very good. So I would say probably sitting around 3. Let's see how I feel after Rebirth happens, and we'll go from there.
I feel like 14 was a pity vote.
If you want my PS5 copy, you can have it, right?
You have a physical copy?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Rebirth?
You do.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I just figured you went digital.
No, I got it
too.
physical because it's the only 2-disc PS5 game.
Oh, that's right. Let's see. Maybe I
good
find it
call.
on sale. A physical copy at the Midwest Gaming Classic. Who knows?
Why?
Also,
Question.
Alex probably also wants to play it, so I might get it just so we can both play it through our Steam fan share.
No. That's okay. Question: Why would you spend money on it and forgo a free, like just to play it? Like you could play it, and if you like it so much, then you could buy it. Versus buy it when you could just.
I know. I should just borrow it from.
He lives like up the road.
I'll probably text him Saturday morning, like, "Hey man, you just want to bring the copy with you when you come to the gaming convention?" It's probably what will happen.
Yes.
He's already got it. He's already eyeballing it. He's probably gonna just hold on to it and bring it to me anyways. That's what I'll probably do. Yeah, no, I had no idea he had a physical copy, but that's hilarious. It's 2 discs.
I didn't know you did either. I thought you also went.
At least I know the game is on the disc if they're gonna put 2 discs in the case, right? So.
Well, I don't.
You
know
don't actually know that.
I don't know that that's true, but I do.
Yeah.
But I do know that it does. It has either 2 download codes on it, however they do it, but it does a whole. You put one game or one disc in, and installs it, and it goes, "Please insert disc 2," and then you do it, and then it installs the rest of it.
It's so strange when they can just download the rest of it, but that's hey.
I don't know, man. I think they're doing it for the nostalgia thing. I'm not in a good place of that game.
Yeah. So it's fair enough. Yep, I'll borrow it from you. All right, and then me and Christian also played a game with some other people. Gloomhaven. This is a tabletop board game kind of thing that they turned into an actual game. It was on Tabletop Simulator. I think we played it a while ago.
Ages ago.
And then they have like a actual version of that game, like gamified version, if you will, on Steam. So we got it on sale. We've been playing it. It's a lot of fun. I am not the biggest fan of card games as far as like, you're going to play a role-playing game. You get to bring these 11 abilities in with you. You got to burn these cards. You got to discard these cards. At a certain point, I'm like, just give me the fucking button. I want to be able to press attack button when I can. And I don't want to have to run out of cards to find out that I can't move and attack anymore. No basic move and attacks when you run out of card. You get exhausted. You get pulled from whatever mission you're doing. But it's fun. It's a fun game to play with friends for sure. And then some of the choices you get like on the way to a mission could affect your reputation with the town. Could affect, maybe you have to burn 2 cards automatically before you get to the mission. It's fun kind of just choosing options and seeing if we chose the right one or not. So it's Gloom is fun. If you like a tabletop games and you're interested in probably playing that with some friends online, it's definitely something to take a look at for sure. And then other than that, Star Wars Sundays, playing the Old Republic still. I got my lightsaber. I pulled up some more skill bars so that way I can put all my skills and actions in there. We finished Tython, and we did one of the flashpoints, which is like the smaller beginning raids. They do have story versions of it, which was nice. So I was able to go in there by myself, solo dolo. They give you a little combat droid that comes with you, who's taking these motherfuckers down, which was nice. And then we landed on Coruscant, and that's where we stopped. So part 3 was definitely going to be hanging around Coruscant, seeing what's going on there. But I'm loving every second of that. When I was going to do Empire at War, I'm like, all right, Sunday morning, let's go play some more Empire at War. I'm super stoked every Sunday morning. I get to play the Old Republic. So,
did you have to pay for extra skill bars?
No, so it's
Okay.
I did pay for extra skill bars, but it's like because I didn't know how to unlock them. So I'm going to interface. It shows them as red. I'm like, oh, do I have to pay for them? So I buy the little thing, and it's like because I had some credits left over, and it's like, oh, just unlock more skill bars. Okay, I did that, but they didn't pop them up. I'm like, okay, and I found there's a button you have to press to get the other ones to show. I think what I bought was, when you like your bottom middle toolbar, your skill bar, it has the numbers with the arrows there to go like 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I just bought more of those. But the side ones are already there, so I think I wasted money for no reason. But it's money I already had there. Don't really care because I'm not trying to spend. But I just have those credits there in case I want to do something fun. And then lastly, we forgot to talk about this last week, but me and Christian went to go see a movie. We went to see Mickey 17.
Oh yeah.
So that is from the writer-director of Parasite, which I haven't seen, but I heard a lot of good things about. And this is like a near future.
He also did Snowpiercer.
What's that?
He did Snowpiercer too.
Oh, did you Snowpiercer too? Okay, I did like Snowpiercer. It's a near future gentleman signs up for this trek to, I want to say it was Mars, not sure, a different planet where they can go, and the guy, I guess,
No, it was a fake ice planet. They called it.
it was just a fake name. Okay.
Yeah, it was like a fake fantasy name. But yeah, I don't remember what the.
Yeah, he signs up to go on the expedition because him and his other friend, they got into big debt with a scary guy, so they decided they're just gonna leave Earth and go off. And he signs up for it, and he calls himself an expendable, and everyone's like, "You want to be an expendable?" And apparently he's the only one signed up for it, and this allows them to just replicate him. And so he goes on all of the suicide missions. So, for example, they land on a new planet. They wanted to see what the effect is on human life. So they just send him out there, tell him to take off his helmet, just breathe in real nice and deep, and just kind of explain what's happening to his body. So when he dies, they can just reprint out another one and then have him go off and do stuff like that. So it's pretty funny and interesting. Mark Ruffalo plays like the leader who is, failed politician on Earth, so he's trying to make his own little colony or whatever to where he can lead. But he is there's some red hats around. Let's put it that way. He's going full into the intellectual what would you call that? It's like when they make a game. It's not the game, but it's the game. Legally distinct Trump is what he plays. So. It's pretty good. I thought it was very enjoyable. It's nice to go and see a movie that wasn't Marvel Star Wars, which is kind of the whole point of me wanting to go out to the movie and see this one. It did look fun. It did look interesting. But yeah, I'd recommend it if you want a nice little fun sci-fi romp. It's definitely worth the view.
Nice.
Yeah, it's my week.
All right.
Yeah, so I played those things, saw that movie, and then honestly, the only thing I've done is played Fantasian.
Yeah.
I don't have too much more to add about Fantasian, except that I do have an update on the Dimension feature. Okay. So you cannot do bosses in it, and it does not work on enemies that you haven't seen before.
Gotcha.
So if you run up on a new enemy, it will. Yeah. Yes, first encounters. Otherwise, everything gets stuffed in there until it gets too full, or you decide to clear it out, but you can do that, and it sort of removes any of the random encounters thing. The only other thing that I'll say about it is, just as I've gotten further into it, it's very clearly written by Sakaguchi. And so if you're a fan of any of his games, whether that's Lost Odyssey or Blue Dragon or Final Fantasy IX or any of the other Final Fantasies 6 and backwards, you know, this game's for you. Like, you know, as soon as you get into it, you know, like, it feels exactly like those other games. Like, it's just on the same level as far as writing. It's thoughtful and has a great story, and the music, because it's the same music from Final Fantasy, is just like super on point. Yeah.
Did he start his own studio for that game?
He started his own studio since Lost Odyssey, or since Blue Dragon. But it's Mistwalker Studios. So he started that after he left after Final Fantasy IX.
My brain went down a rabbit hole, and I was like, it's crazy that somebody footed the bill for you to be like, I'm gonna hand paint and not paint, but make these worlds, and like that's just not something a big budget game studio or publisher would be willing to pay for today, because they're gonna be like, takes too much time, too much money, and so on. So it's impressive.
I think it's one of those things that I just think, and we have talked about it with other names too, but I think there's just certain names in the industry, right, that just like get things when they ask for them, kind of thing. And he's, as the father of Final Fantasy, he's certainly earned that sort of respect in the industry. So yeah, I honestly, I don't have too much more to say about it, because it's just like, I'm still playing it, and two, it's a story heavy JRPG, so you know what you're getting into, whether or not you're gonna like that. But yeah, that's really it. I didn't have I didn't do too much else.
Christian has legitimately been pulling up notes and been stewing over what we're going to talk about tonight. So
we will talk about...
That's all up here.
Yeah, we will talk about the Switch 2 now, but what I would like to do, let's start off on a positive note. I want to take you back to right before the end of the Direct, before we saw pricing stuff. How did you guys feel about that Switch 2 Direct?
So I'm going to say this because I didn't get a chance at the time to see the whole thing. So I was trying to follow what you guys were saying. And I got really lost because I thought somebody said in Discord about a new Mario, but they weren't. They were talking about the Mario Kart. So I got really excited and really let down. But I will agree with a comment that Christian said, which I think is worth a conversation, which was the Dusk Bloods.
Yeah.
And you said something about, I think you said, like, I can't believe Sony let that happen, which I agree with. Like, people have been begging for a sequel to Bloodborne, and
I would go as far as people have been begging for Bloodborne anything, period. Like,
it would do gangbusters, and you somehow not let another company do it. You let FromSoft, who you basically own. I mean, you don't, but like you basically do, right? You let them make an exclusive for the Switch in the theme of Bloodborne. Blows my mind. It blows my mind. I don't know how they let that happen.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. It's one of those things. It's like, so when that trailer pops up, the pop off in people's chats, like I was watching it live.
Couldn't even read it.
The pop off on that chat. I've went back and seen other people who were like co-streaming it or whatever, and I watched like their reactions to it. Everything like that, and it is, I mean, just an outpouring of hype. Like, it's like you see it at first, like the way they played it during the show was like, it shows some of the characters, and it shows like some environment stuff, and people were joking, myself included. If we look at the timestamp in our Discord thing for the league, I think within the first 10 seconds I was like, haha, Bloodborne ? Like, get the fuck out of here, blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, wait, actually, though? Wait, hold on, what the fuck? And then, like, everybody started coming to this realization. They were like, holy fuck, is this Bloodborne? Like, how could that... Are they making a sequel? Because they can't... There's no way they got a remake, because that can't be it. So it'd have to be a sequel of some kind. And, like, what they ended up doing was more or less, like, the spiritual successor, but like almost in a prequel way. Like I've never seen this done, but like if anybody who's familiar with Bloodborne, if you go back and look at this trailer looks like it's like Yarnum like pre
it's like
madness.
before the Lycan madness took over, right? You have like someone that has it, but not everybody.
Right. And so you end up looking at this, like you get this shot of, and they keep talking about they're like the blood and the moon and like all this other shit, and you're like, oh my god, dude, you guys are just doing Bloodborne. Like that's it. You guys are just doing Bloodborne. And I don't know how I don't know. I don't know how Sony let this happen. I think that, I mean, and by that I mean, because obviously FromSoft is their own company. They can do whatever they want. Like, outside of Bloodborne and Demon Souls, all of their games have been multi-platform, right? So like, they're not beholden to anybody. But when people are saying, because this sentiment's all over, when people are saying like, how could Sony let this happen? It was that you let another company take your moment.
Yeah.
Like, it's clear that not only Miyazaki himself, because this is his new title that he's working on, but also From in general have been wanting to do this for fans forever. And you let Nintendo come in and beat you to it. Like, not only could you have just done a remake and you would have gotten this same pop off, if not more, you could have done a sequel. You could have done both, whatever, right? Pick whatever you want to do. Any one of those options would have let you get that pop off. But now, especially if this game comes out and it is good and people can afford it, that's a whole other thing. But if it comes out and it is good, people, like, whatever happens in the future for Bloodborne will be less hype now by comparison. Because people will go, I already have something. It's fine now. I don't need your $70 version, your $80, $90 version, like, whatever. I don't know. I don't need it anymore because I've already paid $90 for this new thing. So I'll be doing that. Like,
and you have the freedom, not for nothing, you have a little bit more of the multiplayer aspect to it, but you have the freedom to take it with you and play wherever you are. So you're not locked to your console.
Yeah,
right now also.
True. So there's that. I mean, it's just, there's that game that was a huge pop off, but I mean, that wasn't the only thing. Like, we had a sequel to Kirby Air Ride.
Yep.
Like, that was a game that I thought for sure was going to remain dead. I know Preston thought it was going to remain dead. Like,
and it's being made by Smash creator.
Yes.
That has to be because of the success of the last Kirby game, right? The last Kirby game was massive for the Switch,
and the Switch is getting their own DLC for that game. So
yeah, but it's getting made by Sakurai, who famously, obviously, worked himself near death on Kid Icarus and not only Smash Bros. But so I hope he works a normal amount on this game. I hope he just works a regular amount and doesn't want to die by the end of it, and that people aren't shitty to him. But that game got announced. We are getting a new 3D Donkey Kong
Bonanza
since DK64, which is wild.
Looks great. Looks fantastic. Like, I'm excited, but we'll talk later. I'm not as excited, but I'm excited to play it someday.
You got your Silk Song announcement.
Silk Song got dropped. I mean,
and with the 2025 year date,
yes, it has a 2025 year. Who knows whether or not they'll hit it? This is my personal opinion.
Still no actual date. Yeah.
My personal opinion is that I think we will see that game this year, because every other time that it's been shown, it has been shown as the pop-off moment, right? Like, people always reference, like, the Microsoft show from, like, way back when it was, like, everything being shown here is coming out within the next 12 months, and Silk Song was obviously famously on that. It did not come out. But all of the games that Microsoft showed during that announcement were basically, like, nothing anyway. Silk Song was the thing. Like, when that popped off, everyone was like, whoa, shit. Like, so... But this Direct was not lacking in those kind of moments. There's no reason for Nintendo to show that unless they have some sort of guarantee from Team Cherry that it seems like
It should come out.
it will be coming soon.
Do you think there's a possibility that game could launch in a semi-broken state? Like, do you think the publishers and everybody to the point where there's like no financials?
Better fucking
No, but it could also be if it's been in development hell. You could think that somebody's going like, we just need to recoup money, like put this.
So
out.
the problem is that Team Cherry is self-funded. Like it was kickstarted, so there's no publisher behind them that's like, hey, get it out the door, do this thing. Like that game was that, and all that stuff was already paid for ages ago.
That's
and then
the
sales from Hollow Knight,
Mm-hmm.
the sales from Hollow Knight by itself all went directly to Team Cherry, and that game has sold a bazillion copies.
Sure,
they're fine. They're not going to run out of money anytime soon. And I don't think that game has been in development hell. I think the problem is the same thing that happened to... This is not the same thing that happened to Hollow Knight, but scope creep is Team Cherry's problem. Is that Team Cherry does not ship something unfinished so far, as their track record has shown. They only ship something that is completely more game than you would ever want at the price point.
right?
And then they go... here's some more, and here's some more, and here's some more. Like, Hollow Knight had so much DLC attached to it that is longer than some full-length games. And Silksong was supposed to be one of those things. And the only reason it wasn't is because it got so big that they said, guys, it's just going to have to be its own game. It's too big. And then from that moment on, it has continued to grow and grow and grow. So me personally, I think that what happens is Silksong has had scope creep for so long, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and they're polishing and trying to fix things and do all this other stuff, that I'm sure it's going to be rock solid when it comes out. The problem that I think they're going to run into is that because Hollow Knight 1 was such a smash success overnight that nobody was expecting to see coming, people's expectations now for Silksong are going to be so ungodly high that I don't know that you hit them, even if it's a great game.
Yeah.
People are going to be disappointed because it's not, you know, whatever they've made up in their mind over the last however long. But we got that, but that pop off happened, right? We saw more Metroid fucking gameplay and some of the improvements coming there. We saw a bunch of Switch 1 titles, and then their new Switch 2 counterparts and some of the changes that are coming to them. The show opens with a brand new fucking Mario Kart that is an open world Mario. That's basically Burnout Paradise Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Like, a thing that, that's basically what it is.
You can do now too, and they're adding a lot to this, and I'm curious to see what the longevity looks for that, because the way they did it with Mario Kart 8 Ultimate, like, they were adding tracks even I think last year, so they will constantly add to that. Were you guys saying anything more about announcements?
So that's what I was going to say. To your point, to your question was that I think everybody who was watching that would be lying if they said they were not excited.
Both me and Jake got presents from Nintendo. You know what that is? It's only if we get a Switch 2 and pay for the online service. But they're doing the GameCube.
No.
And not only do I get F-Zero GX, but he gets Path of Radiance Fire Emblem, which is the GameCube game he's been wanting, but it costs $150 fucking if you want to buy it used. So we're eating good.
That's the standard price of Nintendo games moving forward. So it's just buying a standard game.
I'm happy that you two got that game. Got those games. I don't want to make it sound like I'm not happy for you guys. The problem is, the thing that pissed me off the most about that announcement is, one, the GameCube emulator is locked to the Switch 2. I am not going to be hearing any argument that the Switch 1 could not handle GameCube emulator.
Yeah, no,
fuck
they're doing it
you.
just for that, but
they're doing it just to be
multiplayer with F-Zero.
Allegedly, my Steam Deck can run a GameCube emulator just fine. So,
allegedly,
you have people have been asking them to bring forward the Wii U version of Wind Waker and the Wii U version of Twilight Princess for fucking ever.
Yeah.
Ever. And they were like, You know what we could do for you guys is give you the GameCube version of Wind Waker, which now, because of the Wii U version, is objectively worse in every single way. But if you want it, I guess you could just like fuck you. Like there's a lot of things in this direct before even the pricing thing that was like I was on a roller coaster.
It's probably the best direct I've seen in years. 100%. From
a games perspective,
yes, games
I would totally agree
100%.
with you. I think there are things that they have decided to do with the Switch 2 outside of pricing that I think only a company as delusional as Nintendo could do. Like
let's start with a simple one. How in the hell do you release a Switch 2 OLED, right? Something that's actually better on battery life.
Or Switch 1 OLED, you mean?
Or Switch 1 OLED. Better on battery life, like better on picture quality and everything. And then you release a newer console running better quality games and give it an LCD. And then it comes out that your battery life playing certain games is lower. And you go, what could have helped with that? Oh, I don't know. The better technology of an OLED display.
But Alex, they want to wait 5 years and then sell that to you at full price again.
And that's just a basic one. Like, that's your fundamental hardware. You only interact with this in one way. Well, I guess two ways. 50% of the ways you interact with this is by staring at this screen. The other could be your TV screen. And you put a lesser quality display in one of the main ways you interact with this thing.
I'll tell you exactly why. Because they have to ship out a fuck ton of these for launch. No. So there's no way they're going to manufacture every single one of their Switch 2s with an OLED screen. That is just insane. There's no way they're doing that.
Hey, Preston.
Don't talk to me about the Vita.
No. Hey, Preston. You know a company as big as like Samsung or as big as Apple ships far more devices every day than Nintendo does, and every one of them, from their small to their big devices, has an OLED.
I'm just saying it's a possibility that's the reason, but I don't know.
It's not though. It's not though.
No, it's because that is cheaper and they know people will buy it, and then later down the road they can make an OLED version and people will line up again to go buy another one, and they get to have people double dip all day every day. And there's that one. There's the fucking stupid Nintendo app that they keep trying to push where they're like, hey guys, we're going to update fucking Tears of the Kingdom to make it so you can leave GPS coordinates and send them to your friends and they'll open their app.
That's a pretty cool app edition.
No,
but also, it only works
it's not.
with the online subscribers. But yeah, the fact that you could like send a QR code to get like builds and stuff like that within the Zelda game, that's pretty fucking good idea.
Is this real? Are you doing a bit?
No, I'm not doing a bit. I'm saying that like, hey, you could be like, hey man, I made this cool thing. Here's a QR code. You can just get the thing in your thing. Or later on, you can go online probably and get like the cool, like somebody made that giant fucking mecha robot thing to where it's like, oh, I can just pop that into my game by a QR code. That's cool. How is that not cool?
Because the infrastructure to do this in a regular way has already been solved for 15 years, Preston.
That's what I said
need
to Christian.
QR codes anymore. This has got to be a bit.
This is not a bit. I'm being serious.
They created a problem from a... There's been a solution to this problem forever. They recreated the problem to then fix with a different solution, which is their own app. But there's other apps that already exist to do what they want to do on an online service better, but they're like, no.
But you could just do it within the game. Like if I'm already friends with people and I don't have this thing, you could just be like share with friends and you hit yes, and then the next time they open their game, it could just be so and so shared something with you. Like fucking I could go into Final Fantasy 14 right now and send Alex, I can send him money, items, anything I want. Send it and then the next time he opens the game, he opens it up and it goes, Christian just sent you something. And then he runs over to the mailbox, he opens it up, and all within the game. And then he goes, oh my God, Christian sent me money. He sent me items.
It's not the same.
Tears of the Kingdom is an online game. It is now.
No, you're sharing QR codes. It's not an online game. You're not jumping into someone's game.
I'm not.
And also, Christian, if you don't do that and have your own special app, how are you going to know that the live action Zelda movie's coming out as a trilogy?
This is why I'm convinced that this is a bit.
No, that last part was a bit. I'm being serious. I think the QR code is a cool idea, but that's just me.
No, I can't. And I hate the app. It's so dumb that I have to have my own app. And then Not to mention,
can I say about the app? I do like sarcastically. I like that they like did all these things to say like, look what our app can do, connect you with friends and do all this stuff. And it's like okay, again, like you've recreated an app to fix a problem that doesn't exist, but you created this problem again to do the app. But they're like, oh, but it also has like Zelda notes, like just a place you can leave yourself notes about the game you're playing. And I'm like, oh, so like the notes app on my phone, or like pencil and paper.
Yeah, but can
and
you
like
do
yeah, but it
that
can be
and
in
have
Zelda
markers on your map?
Well, no,
same time?
Preston, but you also can't use that for any other game you fucking play. So what's the purpose?
Well, if they want to support it, the developers need to be putting that in the game because it's available and
get
right
the
there
fuck
for
out,
it.
dude.
And
then-
on top of that,
so-
they're doing the Nintendo Music app too. Did you see that one?
I saw that. That's fucking stupid.
No.
I got Spotify.
So we're here at the crux of the issue, which is that every other whether it's Sony, whether it's Microsoft, Valve, whoever, the only thing that people have been when they start doing like chat apps or video, whatever, everyone just goes, "Shut up, let me have Discord." And then when Sony and Microsoft did that, everybody said, "Thank God they got rid of their dumb shit and just let me have Discord." Nintendo is the only company who gets away with it because then people go, "Oh my God, it's basically shitty Discord," and all of the children cheer.
Here's what I'll say: they had the balls to show the actual frame rate of the games that are being shared by other people. That's going 5 frames a second, and we're watching it the entire time. Like, this is bad. This is real bad. But they had the balls to put it in front of the audience when they could have easily just done video capture and just put it down there for them because it's not a live thing.
I will give you that. I do.
That
agree.
was very funny. I was sitting there watching.
It was
like, wow,
very. It was
ballsy.
very cool of them to show how shitty it was going to look in actual real
That was
time.
hilarious.
Was it funny, or was it them going, "Hey, this is a service we offer for sharing, or if you want the best experience, just buy your own copy of the game"?
Well, no, because it's not. That wasn't just game sharing. They're saying like.
Yeah, that's just for like Discord to
if
show everyone,
I'm playing
hey, we're all playing
something
things together and
right,
share
like
a game.
the way you just did, where you were showing us Pirate Yakuza.
Same thing.
This would be you doing that, but they showed that.
Shit.
They showed that on the direct, but it was literally like at 480p and like 5 FPS, and I will agree with Preston. They did have the balls to show that live on the stream.
You know what I guarantee that means? That means they're not using a simple like AV1 codec or something. They're probably using some bullshit like Nintendo standard codec
sure,
to
yeah.
show.
No, I think honestly,
thing,
what I think it is that I just think the Switch 2 just can't handle that already, and so
doesn't need to,
and it was just going. It was already falling apart in that special environment. God forbid when somebody in the middle of fucking Oklahoma tries to do this on their Oklahoma Wi-Fi.
You just can't.
It will be just be pixels, like just smeared mess.
There'll be an error code on your square.
So that thing, the app aside, like there's the voice chat, and they're like, guys, don't worry. The Switch is going to have a microphone on the top of the Switch, and it's going to use NVIDIA's new streamer shit. So even if it's far away, you can just talk normally. It'll pick your voice up. You don't have to worry. And we'll drown out your wife using a blender in the background or somebody vacuuming or whatever the fuck. And it's like, this is so dumb. Like, just, it doesn't need to be there.
Just
and then
Discord
they have the balls to show you a camera, which by the way is going to cost $50 fucking dollars. A 2001 Logitech Orb camera
Not even
that comes on a stick, and it's going to sit there, and you are paying $50 to be able to show your face, blah blah blah, and all you're doing is basically signing yourself up so that the next time you play Mario Party, you can see somebody's dick and balls.
Well, they
right
have
in front of this
interactive
thing.
games with that camera. That just for
Because
the
that's
game.
exactly what's going to happen. Because this, again, just like everything else Nintendo does, all of their little experiments have already been solved decades past. With the Xbox 360, when Uno Live launched, the first thing that happened when everybody was like, look, you'll put the fucking Kinect here, you'll take your photo, and everybody will see you live playing Uno and getting mad and yada, 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 yada. And you know what that was used for? Dick and balls. It was just right there, and that's all that everybody saw.
Correction. It was used for 2 things. It was used for dick and balls. It was also used by Microsoft to secretly start working on a dot-based AI to figure out where people were sitting on the opposite side.
Yes.
That they didn't tell anybody about.
There's that, Then the PS4 came out during that generation and the original Xbox One, and they attached themselves to a service called Twitch and then Ustream. And nobody remembers Ustream, but it was basically the wild, wild west of Twitch where anything was allowed.
Ustream.
And you could open up Ustream and just see orgies happening live. And you could just watch that as a child on your PS4 or anybody. But my point is that so Nintendo brings all this shit back, and everybody's like, hey, Nintendo, this problem was solved. You don't have to do this like this. You can just do it like a normal way, like everybody else is doing. And they're like, no, that's okay. We'll do this dumb way and then charge you for it. And we're the only company that people will put their wallets out and go, yes, thank you, please. Like, so this whole I had a roller coaster.
The Joy-Cons, Preston, I don't know if you saw that. The Joy-Cons are $90.
$90.
They're more than the other ones. So if I want to
we're getting a little bit.
Who's buying more Joy-Cons? Like it's
people with a wife that would want to play with their wife in a game at home, dude. Controller. Which is cheaper than a set of Joy-Cons.
Yeah.
By $10. It's still $80 for a Pro controller.
It's more than a PlayStation controller or an Xbox controller. Insane. Okay, yes, you're right. Not counting the $250 elites. Yes, you are correct.
This is fun.
Man. So to this point, the Nintendo Defense Brigade is clearly out here. They're in full force, and it is... I have never met a company that has allowed people to get bent over the barrel by them, and then all of the customers are like, yes, thank you, please. I'll just keep putting Mario in front of my face. Wahoo. Like, I don't... It's mind-blowing to me. The problem is that it is... They even show... Like, the thing that makes me... Like, there was even game things that they showed for Switch 1 titles moving on to the Switch 2 that you're like, guys, this is fucked up. Like, they showed the new Pokemon that they had already revealed, but they were like, guys, look, here's Pokemon, but it's running at a stable frame rate. And you're like, sick. Thanks for showing me that.
For my Switch 1. Yeah, not really.
Yeah,
great.
Thanks for that, I guess. And this leads me in to, like, or to finish off, like, it really was, like, when they were showing things about the console, I was like, this is stupid in only ways that Nintendo could pull off. But then there was games that they were showing afterwards that I was like, God damn it, these games look good. And it'll lead us into the next point.
I think it's pretty cool that, like, Civ you can play and you have a mouse there now too. So it's like, I think that's very cool for a console version of Civ, because you got the mouse to drop things down, and for real-time strategies going forward or other games like that to where, like, a mouse would be beneficial. I think that's pretty cool.
I think it's a cool idea. I have never played with the Joy-Con split. I put the Joy-Cons in their little controller because the Joy-Cons
I've been, like,
are
sitting
made for
here,
my
like, just going like this.
Have
and
you?
playing. Yeah.
But you can't do that. You would have to do one now and then the other up front of your desk.
If you're
right,
using
because you're not going to be able to. Right. So that's what I mean. Like, it's interesting, but few people use their Joy-Cons that way. So again, I don't harp on Nintendo for doing it, because Nintendo's like shooting at the wall with stuff, and that's innovative. So I'll give them credit for that. But that's my, like, does that make a Joy-Con $90 for me?
No,
probably not.
Hell no.
Probably not.
No.
But it doesn't even matter, because what Christian's probably going to get to here in a second is the fact that, like, even though
I was going to let Preston keep going, but...
Oh. I'd say even though I found that the console was actually competitively priced, like, I was impressed at the $450
for the base model, and then $500 if you want a cart with it.
You lost me in two things that came after. One being the price of the games, and two being that if you live in Japan, you can get a region-locked Japanese-only language Switch for the US dollar equivalent of $130 cheaper, which is 25% off.
Do you think?
And I think one of two things happened.
Tariffs?
Either No, not tariffs. Because the console, because the console itself in Canada is $600. That's gonna be like tariff related.
So other countries also have higher prices. Okay.
Yes. I think it's one of two things. I think they could have, one, they're just saying fuck you to everybody else, but also, like, I think they're able to do it because this console would have been perfect at $399. But if you charge an extra $50 at $450, people are going to go still competitive, and everybody that buys one is going to subsidize the loss of the amount they will sell in Japan. And all in all, they're not going to lose shit for selling that like region locked console. Is what I think.
Sure.
Extra $50 subsidizes that whole thing.
No, for sure. I mean, that's probably true. And I think, honestly, the thing that makes me the most mad about that is that it's just like, if any other company did that in any other part of the world, they would be accused of hating the other markets more. Like, they would be like, oh, they clearly only like this one, or blah, 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 blah. Like,
if Microsoft did that, we would definitely get shit for it.
Yes. Now, that being said, whatever. $450 I think is not as competitive as I would want it to be, but it's fine. I think you're already starting off at like a hard sell because like a Steam Deck OLED, which is already more powerful than the Switch 2,
it apparently has the same battery life. So
is at $399,
yeah.
And so you're like
the dock can output to 4K at 120, so you kind of see a little bit with that.
Well, upscaled. It's not like true 4K,
but it's gonna be upscaled.
But so couldn't the Steam Deck also do that if you put a big
if you bought a dock for it, yes.
Put it TV, yeah.
But you're already tough. So that's the thing, though. Is the difference is that you're like, well, the games though, like the exclusive titles that only are going to be on that Switch make it so that
you want to play that next FromSoft game, you have to buy a Switch too.
You sure do. And so that's really where this comes in, is that we've then find out almost immediately after. They don't put this out during the Direct at all because they know that it would send people into a furious rage. And so they wait until just after, when everybody's riding high and they've already turned off their streams or whatever. Then they slowly release out some press releases, and it's like, oh, the Switch 2 games are going to have variable pricing. So they could be as low as $70 for a new title. They can be as high as $90 for a new title physical. Now,
but Nintendo mainline games are going to be set prices.
Well, you have Donkey Kong that's like $10 cheaper than the kart game.
So here's the thing, is that I think what you're going to end up seeing is Nintendo knows, just by research, what games are going to be system movers.
Zelda.
Those
Pokemon,
games are
Mario,
going to be $90.
Yep. 80 for digital.
80 for digital, 90 for physical. Now, if somebody wants to argue that they're doing that on physical games because all of their cartridges are mass-produced inside Mexico, and so they are getting ready to offset whatever tariffs that they're going to have to put and deal with in other markets, sure, whatever. My argument to be that is that I don't care. Like,
so here's another question. Travis actually brought this up, which I thought was interesting, Christian, because I said this to you, right? There's the potential that you pay $90 for a physical copy that's actually a game key card.
Yeah,
right.
You would want to do your history and research to make sure that you're actually getting a fun
game.
But here's what Travis brought up, which I hadn't thought about. Nintendo is the worst company when it comes to supporting their online services and your digital downloads. So there's a potential that you're buying a physical copy that's actually a download that you might lose in some years down the road because they'll quit supporting it.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, all three. To be fair, that's a reality that all three the other companies have already done. Like, there's titles that were digital only on the PS3 that you cannot get, but Nintendo already crossed this bridge on the Wii and Wii U. Like,
but if you want a physical copy, you don't have to worry about that, right?
But what I mean is that there was digital only eShop games that they destroyed. Like, you'll never, without, there was certain preservation work that happened that got some of those, off of there. But like, without that work, like, they would just be lost. Like, they would be vaporware. They would never come back.
I'm just thinking of somebody like you who likes having physical copies for those exact examples, right?
Yep.
But so you're gonna shell out $10 more. You could possibly be paying $90 for a physical copy that turns out to not even be a physical copy.
So let's say I get a Switch 2.
Game key.
I'm going to end up doing exactly what I did for Metaphor. I'm like, before I buy the physical copy of this game, I got to Google to make sure that the disc actually has the game on it. Because I'm not buying a physical copy of Metaphor if I'm not getting the fucking game to like preserve and hold on to. Yes, there's degradation for CDs too, or DVDs and Blu-rays. But when I'm buying a physical copy, I want to know that it's on there. So that way I can do it no matter what happens with whatever shop they have or whatever servers they need.
But the reason that I say that I don't care about whatever the reason is that they're deciding to do $10 more for physical copies is because, quite honestly, it doesn't fucking matter to me. The real thing is that Nintendo is the biggest game publisher / developer in the industry right now. Their margins have always been insane. They have always made hand over fist money. They have the highest attach rate from games to consoles ever. Like, fucking Mario Kart 8 had something like a 90-ish, 91% attach rate to every Switch that was there.
67 million or something like that, yeah.
And that was a game that was not bundled
and we don't
with...
even like that game. We bought it as like the first Switch game that we get. And like, Allie likes I hate the newer Mario Karts.
Yeah.
Because I'm not good at it, right? But we bought it. We had it. Like, everybody had it.
Everybody had it, yeah.
But people went out to buy that game, and that game did not come bundled with the Switch immediately. Like, they created bundles later, but in the beginning, when that 91% attach rate was people who went out and just bought that game, and then so Nintendo has always been like, they have a fucking war chest of money that they sit on just since the Wii. Like,
that FromSoft game is going to be 85% attached to consoles, you know.
But so that's what I'm saying. It's like, so to like whatever their reason is, like, you know, people can try to spin this all they want, but like, it's shitty. It's so fucked up to do to people.
I would say mainly because I'm sorry. I was going to say mainly because like we're used to the price point. We have been grown accustomed to it. Yes, it bumped up like $10 within the past 10 years, but like we're accustomed to that $60 price point. I mean, I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, I remember games being really expensive back in the day. So I went and looked up like, okay, like what were SNES games? Like SNES games were $60 to $80. There were some Final Fantasy games that were $80 in like the 90s. So like, it's not completely unheard of for Nintendo or any other publisher to do this. They just haven't done it for a really long time. So we've grown accustomed and used to it being the norm that big budget games are going to be the high tier price, which is right now 70 or back then 60. And then you get.
But that's my frustration. Nothing on Nintendo is as much of a cost to develop and produce as these other big companies.
Mega Man. You know, Square games back in the day for SNES, those were $80 plus games.
Sure, but I'm talking about today. But today, if you look at these games, they don't have the same production cost that a Grand Theft Auto would have.
Sure.
So, like, what is your justification? And on top of it, it's at a real bad time for a lot of people. Japan's yen is down. They've had near market crashes due to some property stuff and other things going on, right? China is down. Our market is down, about to be hit with tariffs, which is going to impact a lot of things. So it's not only no real justification because you're printing money, your production costs on your mainline games don't cost as much. I'm not seeing the quality out of the console to justify those high budget games, to justify that cost. And on top of all of it, just economically, people don't have the income. So all in all, but it goes further than just Nintendo, because if Nintendo can do it,
it's pushing it.
Anybody can do it.
They're starting.
So Ubisoft's, I would almost guarantee you their next Assassin's Creed Jade, $80.
Yeah, 100%.
$80
because it's their AAA game. And it's their highest production game.
What's Grand Theft Auto gonna be?
Like 100%.
100. So, but here's the thing: is that we saw because I've seen people talk about this, and I just want to get out ahead of this. Other company, like when games went up to 70, like people were like, where was all the hate for those companies when that happened? You were clearly living under a rock because people were pissed when that happened too. Like, and a lot of people stopped buying those games at that $70 price point. Now, obviously, enough people kept buying them to offset the people that weren't buying them at launch. But like,
and once time passes, you don't have a choice. Like, you have to buy a new game eventually. So it just.
Like there's some people there's some games that it was just happen like that you're gonna get at a $70 price point. That's just it. If you wanted to play it with your friends,
for it to go on sale,
it is what it is, right? But everybody was pissed about that. But a hike of another $20 fucking and making it so that by the time I leave the store after tax, I am paying $100.
You're paying $600 for. You want to get the cart with that because you might as well. Because why are you going to pay $80 for cart when you can get the bundle for $50 more? So you're paying $50 for cart, and then you're going to buy another game. That's $80 plus tax.
So
So
Preston, that's a good point. So $450 for the console, $500 if I want Mario Kart, right? And then which would be a good couch.
One more game,
so $500 for that.
$100.
Another
tax.
game's gonna be $100 because you're gonna buy it in store, so it's gonna be physical. So now you're at $600. And then for me, the only way I'm playing with somebody else is with another set of Joy-Cons or controller, which is either $80 or $90. I'm at $700 out the gate.
I'm really hoping like they have
That's
backwards
insane.
compatibility with like the Switch Pro controller. Like I'm hoping like you can still use those things, but
They do.
sure.
You can. That's been
but
been
that's not
announced.
here nor
Yes.
there, right? If you never had a Switch, if you're getting a Switch 2, which
Right.
God knows who that is, but yeah.
Right. That's
And
$700 out
the other problem
gate.
too, right, is that not only like, but even with some of the games, like they're not even fully supporting the entire Switch One library to come backwards compatible.
They really give us like
and
six
they already
games.
have.
And there's a
they already-
list of games that have issues
That are all
too.
fucked up. Like they already have games, a whole list of games that Nintendo posted on their website that are all fucked up that don't work right.
Say,
It's like,
we're investigating these
and
compatibility
it's
issues.
just- it's one of these things. As soon as all that stuff came out, I just looked at all of that and I was like, no, I'm not buying that.
Towards the end
Like,
of that direct, I was like, I gotta start saving up. And then once we saw the prices,
you almost canceled the fucking show we're supposed to go to. You were like, hey, like I'm not gonna do
Well,
shit. I mean, you already bought the ticket, so I'll go, but I'm not gonna buy anything.
I was gonna
because
spend
I want to
very
save
little amount. Yeah.
because I wanted to save money because of the Switch 2, which was understandable because it was going to be $450 is a lot of fucking money to drop. But then as soon as you start seeing the prices for some of this shit, you're like, dude, I'm never going to be able to afford this shit.
And not to mention, I'm pretty sure you can't do monthly for the Nintendo Online thing, so that is straight up $100 for a year. So if you want any of that, that's another $100.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember.
Well, I
whether or not
mean,
you
the
can-
last time I paid for Switch thing was like a year and a half ago, and that was $100. There's not a monthly fee you can pay. You have to pay for a full year, which is $100, which is very cheap for a subscription plan and for a full year. But still, that's another $100 you are dropping onto that, and I would want to do that because I want those GameCube games. If I'm going to get a Switch 2, like I'm not going to play F-Zero fucking online. Get the fuck out of here. That's another $100. I'm essentially paying $100 for F-Zero.
It's not Switch Online, right? It's the classic game thing. What?
So Switch Online,
Yeah,
you have
well,
to pay
it's
for
bundled.
for the classic games.
Yeah.
You have to have a subscription to play those classic games.
Yeah, it's bundled together. But so that really comes down is just I was so bummed and I'm pissed that that's what they're doing, and I'm pissed about what this is going to mean for the rest of the industry, because the rest of the industry is going to see them do that and they're going to go, we're also going to start charging $90 for our shit then.
Grand Theft Auto was so fucking happy when they heard that. They're like, oh god, they're not going to be just mad at us.
Oh,
it's not going to
dude,
be
they
just
won't
us.
fucking-
GTA 6, that dev team, Rockstar went, oh, we're not going to make $1 billion. We're going to make
making-
multiple
Yeah,
billion
tens of
dollars.
billions. Yeah.
Yes. And Microsoft,
Yeah, like-
and I told Christian, Todd Howard goes, oh, well, thank God.
Yeah.
All of my games have been like flops are not as big, but who cares? Now we can charge more for our mainline games, and I'll pay for the development of all the other stuff. Like, who cares?
Yeah, dude, Elder Scrolls 6 now is going to be $90, and you are going to see people line up and fucking pay that money to play that fucking game.
And it cascades to everything, including collector's editions. Like, collector's editions are $100. Now they're going to be, or $150. Now they're going to be $200 or $250.
Think about
because you can't just
you
have it a
guys
little bit more.
with Monster Hunter. You guys didn't pay base price for Monster Hunter.
Oh,
So like,
no.
if you guys
I
find a
paid-
game like that, and obviously the Switches and the PC are completely different things, because you're not going to pay for like a special digital crazy version of a game on Nintendo. You guys are not that person. But let's say they're like, hey Preston, brand new F-Zero, brand new Star Fox comes out. If you pay us a little extra, we'll give you this special fucking trinket that you can
play
have
as
dangle
Funky
off your
Kong.
goddamn R-Wing. No, Funky Kong. You play as Funky Kong. That's my Kong. But yeah, let's say,
That's what I
hey,
said.
you pay 30 extra bucks, and we'll let you play as Funky Kong in the new Donkey Kong game. I'm like, fuck. Well,
I guess I
you
got
got
it.
me.
I was looking at online places that I've used in the past to trade in other electronics of like, oh, what can I get for my Switch? And as soon as I saw the price of games, I stopped, and I immediately was just like hard disappointed. I was like, wow, this is a cool direct. And I was just immediately like, I
Yeah, it took the
can't.
wind out of the
Like,
sails real fucking quickly.
That's too much, man.
And so I'll end it like this, man. I'll end my opinion on this is that I I hope that all of this has made people really like sit and think about the like the FOMO of everything and like not trying to have to like
I would love to be able to play this new Donkey Kong game to talk about it at Game of the Year because that could easily be
Yeah.
my top 10. And I
Yep.
don't see myself doing that right now. Maybe later if I, stumble upon some money. But still, even then, it's like I want to be able to talk about that this year, but I can't. Right as of right now.
But I
can't.
really like my thing is like I just don't as much as I can. I'm certainly not going to be supporting this decision by them. I'm not going to support the fucking their game pricing. I don't want to support any of that shit. And to be quite honest, like I don't want to support that going in the industry going forward. And I hope a lot of people also do that because I think that if that is what happens, I guarantee you what we will end up seeing is this will be remembered as like the thing, like the straw that broke the camel's back, and it'll lead us right into another video game crash, where people will just stop buying new video games.
They can only afford to have one game every 5 months or something like that. It's gonna be like us when we were kids, where it's like, okay, I got this one game. This is gonna have to take over my life or take up enough time for the next half year.
And I told Alex, that's why I
game.
said, right when they started announcing that, and like I was getting pissed, I was like, man, that it's clearly I'm not going to be able to buy this because I don't want to. Not only is that just going to be tough to fucking afford, but two, it's like, dude, I'm not like I don't have that level of disposable income that I can just fucking sit there and shell out over $100 for fucking games all the time. And so it's like, dude, at that point, thank God that I have the backlog that I do. Because
and you're not the
now it
hugest
just means
Nintendo stand, right? Like obviously
But-
I'm the
but
biggest
there's
hater,
things-
but like you guys like them. Like Alex liked Mario. You liked Dread, Metroid Dread. Like there are things that you like.
I love
Yeah.
I love Metroid. Like I bought the Switch in general for Metroid. Like anytime that I have a Nintendo console, I buy it
Zelda Breath
for
of the Wild.
Metroid games. Like I fucking love Metroid. Metroid's fucking sick. There's plenty of games that I have on my Switch. Animal Crossing, dope. I love there's Sonic Mania I got on the Switch because I obviously see Sonic as like a Sega property, but Nintendo beat them out.
for us, yeah.
But like I didn't want to play that anywhere else but like a little handheld because that's what I think of, like that kind of stuff. Like there's plenty Pokemon, obviously I play a fuck ton and got a Switch for that, and if Game Freak hadn't kept fucking up I would have kept doing it. And so like there was when I got the Switch 1, there were games that were coming out that I knew I wanted because and I got the console because of that. And then there was other things that I just happened to get because I was like, oh well, I have this thing and I will try it out, and I ended up liking it, whatever. But like, and it would have been the same with Switch 2. I would have gotten the Switch 2, and then I would have been I would have been there day one for Metroid Prime 4. I would have been there, and I would have been excited. I would have been fucking ready to go playing Metroid, and it's just not the case anymore. I can't. I'm not.
It's a huge bummer.
It is. It's a huge bummer.
It is. Yeah. And I think, like we said, I think it's going to have far-reaching repercussions on consumers. Maybe the industry, but I think more consumers, right? Because for the industry, it's a battle of attrition. Like, maybe it hurts now, but if we don't go back on it, then you'll have to buy something eventually, right?
I truly hope that they roll this back. I don't think they will. I would love for them to do a Microsoft like, hey guys, sorry, we listened to you. We won't do this always online shit anymore.
It's gonna take time if they do.
But well, and I mean, it took time for Microsoft to do it, right? Yeah. They announced that, and then Don Matrick went to multiple trade shows and had him come out and be like, for people who aren't ready for this, we have a product for you. It's called the Xbox 360. Like, he went out for multiple weeks and months before they finally rolled that back. So, I think that, that certainly could still happen here. I hope it does because I would like to be proven wrong. I think Nintendo has always been the company of fuck you, and so they're going to continue to do that here. Yeah, and they can.
They can, yeah.
And so I don't. Yeah, my last is just I hope that people don't do it as much
Yeah.
as you can. Right, like don't deny yourself joy.
If you got
Right,
the
like
money
you know
and it
on
gives
this
you happiness, fucking go for it.
on this fucking bitch of an earth. Like if you got to do what you got to do. I'm not gonna judge you for going out because you know Mario Kart gives you the good brain juice and you want to play it and that's what you want to do. That's the life you want to live. Live that life. But if you have the ability, like
You got a deck.
if you
got a console.
if you can fucking deal with it, if you've got other games, if you got other things, fucking other do not support this shit. Like just don't do it.
And if you're wondering, like, what do I play? Well, we have a great game called Final Fantasy XIV. Christian and I will Sherpa you through
Hey,
anything you want.
There's a magical
We
device
will- we
called
will get
Steam
you-
Deck. You can buy a dock for it. It's incredible.
Oh,
you
I
can
mean-
play Baldur's Gate 3 on it.
But for me, seriously, like, I can easily say no to this because it could not happen at a worse time for Nintendo per se. Like, I know my dollar doesn't matter to them, right? But like Monster Hunter is out, and that'll give me a long time. I'm gonna play Warhammer until Space Marine 3 comes out, to which point I'll quit playing it all because I'm not gonna pay $100 for Space Marine 3.
You say that.
But I also have like Final Fantasy 14 and stuff, right? Like, if the game industry crashed tomorrow, I have the games I'm happy to play from now until the end of days, so it's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Feel bad for the Nintendo stands, like the ones who are like, I only play Nintendo games. Like I only want one console a year. I have a Nintendo. I like Nintendo, so I'll do it. Now they're being forced to go along with this if they want to continue being.
so I'm
like
interested to
Nintendo
hear from
person.
Jake. Like, and I know Jake. I'm not
He
saying
plays
that
other
that's
games,
all you play. He has PC, and I know he plays other games, but really, like, he loves Nintendo like you do.
Yeah.
So I'm interested. We wanted to hear what you were going to say, which we did. I'm interested to hear what Jake has to say
Yeah.
about it too,
Yeah.
because
Looking out for you.
yeah, you guys
I'm
just
here.
love that stuff. So cool. All right. Anything else? Anybody?
No.
If not, thanks for hanging out with us today, where we talked all things Nintendo. Don't forget to check in later this week as we are going to tackle part 1 of Black. Yes, Christian.
Actually, really quick, I did want to say, out of all the things that I don't want to give them props for, because I did want to bring this up and I forgot about it. Did you guys see the update on how they're doing pre-orders to stop scalpers?
Yes, you have to.
I told you this.
Yeah.
No, it's different than what you said.
the real
It's-
one.
It's you have to be
No.
you have to have played so much of a Nintendo game and have an account with them for so long. I think
Oh.
that's like that. To where that's with through Nintendo. Anyone else like Best Buy is not gonna give a fuck. But like yeah, Nintendo has a specific way of like you have to have an account in good standing. You have to have so many hours in a game or of games to like show that you're a real person, which is nice.
So it says that it is. There's a hold on.
Got the exact amount of time and stuff like that.
Yeah, so it's the emails that go out to pre-order one are sent to anybody who have purchased a Nintendo Switch Online membership with a minimum of 12 months paid membership and a minimum of 50 total gameplay hours as of April 2nd, 2025.
Oh, well,
So-
I'll get that.
Right. So here's the thing, is that if you are a person who has a Nintendo Switch, right, chances are you paid for their online membership, and to Preston's point, you had to do a year. And then chances are you have definitely played multiple titles, one title, whatever, even if you played just Zelda by itself.
Either
that was
one
over
of them.
50
Yeah.
Right, that was over 50 hours, right?
Yeah.
So, like, outside of all the bullshit, I think this is a very good way to be doing things,
Yes.
and makes it so that the people,
The fans.
who, yes, actually have a shot at getting one, because just like we've seen with graphics cards, just like we've seen with other stuff, I mean, we even saw it with the fucking Steam Deck, and Valve tried their best too. It's near impossible to stop people from creating a bot to go in and slam these things to hell. And so being able to do it this way is cool,
It's very nice.
but
Nice.
As long as you order directly from Nintendo, because the other way they're planning on going about it is they're going to mass produce so many and have them available that
Amazon,
they're going to be
Best
so
Buy.
readily available
GameStop,
that
yeah.
scalpers won't have anything to sell like at a higher price because anybody can just walk off the street. Now, we'll see. I doubt it.
I don't believe that.
Yeah.
But because Nintendo has never done that before in their lives, so I just don't believe that.
Yeah.
But yes, that is
The
that
fan
is
thing.
what they say.
The fan thing is interesting. It's not much different than what certain artists have started doing in the music industry. A lot of them, Taylor Swift and others, have started doing verified fan sales. So the pre-sale, like, you have to meet specific criteria to be a quote unquote verified fan to get into the pre-sale before it's open up to everybody else's scalpers. So good on Nintendo for that.
Yeah.
We'll see if
One
anybody else
thing.
does it. Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, as I said, join us later this week as we talk Black, the shining star of the Xbox.
Black, so black.
Why? That's weird.
No,
Did I?
Joking.
I was gonna make a joke, and I was like, I'm just gonna leave that there. It's a weird title that rides the
Probably
edge.
should just not
So
go
let's
for
just
it, yeah.
let's just leave it.
White
So
man
anyway,
should probably
everybody.
leave it, yeah.
So anybody, yeah, the whitest of men. So join me later this week. Join us, and that's what we're going to talk about. Thanks, everybody. And with that, Preston, you know what to do.
Hit it. Thank you for listening to another episode of The Testing Room. To catch up on past episodes or to check out the newest ones when they drop, follow us on Apple Podcast, Spotify, or wherever you get your favorite podcast. If watching is more your thing, check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/@thetestingroom, or watch us live on twitch.tv/testingroomlive. To leave comments or ask questions, you can follow us on Instagram @testingroompod, leave a comment on YouTube, or send them in to testingroompod@gmail.com. See you next time.